Alright, Daddy, I need to clarify why we're here for the record books. I really need to go back and visit my family in Texas. I'm losing my southern accent. We need you to state the trial's purpose. Well, you overheard me talking to Ireland, and I said, smoked a... explicitive. Then you arrested me on the spot. No, that's why I brought you here. The reason we're holding this trial is... This is cultural appropriation, America. A spit upon roast beef's liberty. I know that's technically not roast beef, but I wanted to say that. He should be able to smoke his cigarettes wherever. America, this surely isn't a reason to go to court over. You can't just arrest someone for something you've never heard of. Order. Order. There will be order in this courtroom now. This trial is for murder of Canada, not a set for one of your stupid cooking shows. Stop showing off your idea of food and get to pleading. Well, I guess America's goal here is to annex his land already. This is a very interesting jury we got. I found Canada dead outside your door, miles away from anyone else who could have killed him. He had a pride parade just yesterday, which part of you loudly disapproved of. Shoot him dead? These wounds clearly derive from battery, you dimwit. I've shot no one, let alone my own son. This trial is an absolute farce. Well, if you didn't kill Canada, then who did? Meanwhile, Denmark about to strike again. Should have known Legoland had a bunch of murderers. Okay, this one definitely confused me, but looking a little bit deeper into it, we're actually talking about a certain word in the English language that is no longer okay today. Whether it has something to do with smoking, a certain interesting Welsh dish, or a bundle of sticks. This word had so many meanings in the English language throughout history. Also, I'm assuming the reason Denmark was the one that oofed Canada had something to do with probably the Whiskey Wars, which was actually finally resolved recently last year. People forget that Canada and Denmark are technically neighbors, because you can't forget about Greenland. My new capital was purposely built in the center to have more control over all of my territory, says Brazil. Our capitals are a few kilometers from the border, and that is fine like it is, says the Club of the Continent's Forbidden Nations. Beep, boop, boop, bop. Thank you. Someone else sees the correlation between Xbox and Kyrgyzstan. They probably are the closest thing we got to a gamer nation. Our capitals are attached to the border of the country and are in the only place that we can build. Ha 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 ha, someone says off screen. I am unbeatable, says someone in Spanish. And this isn't just someone, this is Equatorial Guinea. Love that Chad was drawn as a Chad though. So we're talking capitals here, and for sure Equatorial Guinea might have the most unique in the world. This very small African nation decided to put their capital on an island not located on their continental territory. For this, it is definitely a place that stands out a lot. Not only that, but the other unique part about this country is it's the only place outside of the Americas and Europe that officially speaks Spanish. No other part outside of Spain in the Eastern Hemisphere has Spanish as an official language. Obviously, this dates back to the Spanish Empire, and we still see echoes of that today. I actually just met someone recently from Equatorial Guinea here in Spain. I was so excited. I thought it was so cool. It's a pretty small place with only 1.3 million people living in it, as opposed to my very own subreddit. And yes, the capitals are out of control. Ciao, Romania. Hello, Italia. Do you want a pizza? See, I always enjoy a good just need some ketchup on top. Italia? A few days later. Hello, Romania. Hello, Italia. Do you want a coliva? Of course, it's my favorite food. Alright, but first, I need to test my new world-class whipped cream. Romania? I guess I'll just leave this here. No, Italy. Never leave the murder weapon like that. Sometimes when a dish becomes so popular, other countries like to put their own spin on it. The problem is the spin on it might be a little bit horrifying to the place that came up with the food. What I find interesting about this example though is why is it always Italy's food that people are just turning into these horrible substances? I've actually not heard about ketchup on pizza, but I have heard the Swedes put ketchup on pasta. Obviously the Italians are not much fans of that. And then we can't even mention what Canada does to Italian pizza. Honestly, these pineapples should be considered a war crime. I feel like it's just because Italy is so strict with their food, but also their food is very popular, so a lot of people have their own changes to it. They also really don't like when you break the noodles in half like this too. Really gotta try that Romanian food next. Let's see if an American can ruin that. Wait, why is ketchup on pizza so popular though? Al Giza strib is Al Mobis strib. Yes, this is Al Hajj approve, mashallah. Your existence is many insult to plane of reality. I am commence summary execution. No! Disintegrate into the nothing by force of my metaphysics. Ah, that hurt. Pretty much a perfect summary of what's going on in Gaza. What more explanation do you need? I just want to say I love the idea of drawing Palestine as a strip like this. I'm all for bringing in more non-ball country balls. They're some of the most interesting out there. And it makes so much sense. Like, how did we not see this before? It says strip for a reason. Wait, that actually... Never mind. I feel like I pretty much understand everything about this situation now. I don't need any more explanation than this. Due to events, me as judge be declare this case mistrial. Oh man, Judge UN means serious business. What in Curvois? My evidence was rock solid. Maybe but we still have hung jury. I have no idea what China's saying, but that is true. Something very bad happened to this jury, I guess. So in the case of a courtroom, a hung jury means that, yeah, you get a mistrial. They couldn't come to a decision. But in this certain situation, they were hanged differently. Also, these particular country balls that were used tend to, let's just say they have high rates of not aliving themselves. There literally can't be a more perfect title for this, I guess. The 3 types of eclipses. When the moon passes between the sun and earth, that is what's called a solar eclipse. When the earth passes between the sun and the moon, that is what's called a lunar eclipse. Finally, when the sun passes between the earth and the moon, that is what's called Armageddon. Yeah, if you weren't aware, these first 2 eclipses, really not that bad if it's just the moon and earth kind of switching spots. But whenever the order is messed up and the sun gets between the earth and the moon, well, let's just say it's not going to end well. What's funny is the sun doesn't even have to get remotely that close. You just put the sun where Mars is and we're all done for. I'm just gonna really hope we never have to see that 3rd type of eclipse. Bye now, says the British to this native ball. Bye now, says the British to this old South African ball. Bye now. No. That is about the only country in the world where you really can't just say mine now. So many people have tried it. There's a reason why Afghanistan is nicknamed the graveyard of empires. And let's be clear, it's not like this place hasn't lost battles or wars. It's more as this territory acts like a poison when you try to occupy it. The British, the Soviets, the Americans, there's even more examples than that. When will we learn? We just really need to stop trying to take that stuff over. Dear Americans, portraying us as either a utopia with amazing donuts and free healthcare. I know those Canadians really do sure love their Tim Hortons, or a frozen wasteland that drinks syrup isn't okay unless it's Quebec. Han. Stop it. Get help, I guess is what they're trying to tell us. For Quebec, always the butt of the joke. I feel like it's okay to refer to Canada as just hockey land, though. Of Shalom, Palestine. What are you doing with that rocket? Oh, wait a second. USA, Israel into hit me. Boom. Israel, are you doing war crimes? Oy vey, they say. Sweet revenging. One thing's for sure about country balls and this subject, you never know where we're gonna go. I just want to know what was up with the surveillance Latvia in that, though. I'm a little confused. Canada about to do something to the seal? What's the cobber up to now? Asks Australia. Oh no, not again. Is he gonna Meanwhile, New Zealand comes in. Canada looks satisfied. Oh, they've gone crazy again, haven't they? Yeah, nah, that's cruel as. Betty can't beat this though, responds New Zealand. What are you doing to that kitty? Let's not act like they don't do something similar though. It's somewhere, I'm sure, somewhere. Especially considering the comic is referring to the Kiwis, or the New Zealanders, going to extreme measures to protect their unique wildlife. We know Australia does something like that too. I mean, I'm not sure about this far, but they really do want to protect their ecosystem. A little bit of a different story in Canada, but okay, yeah, I see. What you watch in India is a documentary show of famous Bharati billionaires. We make having so many great visionaries of make entrepreneurship and lead way for all of Bharat to follow, truly bringing our country to superpower 2030. Hee hee. Meanwhile, what we're watching on screen, this is a very subtle joke here, but as you can see, these are not the normally portrayed Indian country balls. This one has a monocle representing kind of what the British country ball traditionally uses, and this one has sunglasses, traditionally what the US country ball uses. So this is referring to the fact that these Indian entrepreneurs built their wealth in some places like the UK or the USA, not technically in India, even though I'm sure India also has billionaires that made their wealth in India as well. Probably Indian billionaires all over the place, really. Frick this, trade is dumb and stupid, only makes me worse, sad. What's so bad about trade? It takes away my jobs, so I'm leaving NAFTA. Gringo, what? Oh, surely you're not thinking about breaking the trade deals that our countries depend on. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. A long and arduous negotiation later. Alright, we just worked out the details for our new trade deal. It's almost the same, but whatever, let's just do this. Now, for the more important part. So our deal is trash because it doesn't start with my name. I'm literally the best country here. As you can see, NAFTA bad, USA good. Very interesting, USA. Mexico says, I want to be first. No way in hell. And then we found a solution and made a deal. That can't be true. How did you overcome the name dispute? It's a bit embarrassing. Not tease much with juicy ending. Story keeps secret ending. First of all, we have the USMCA or United States Mexico Canada Agreement, USA. There's TMEC, the Tratado entre Mexico, Estados Unidos, Canada, and CUSMA, Canada, United States, Mexico Agreement. Oh, they all three have different names, don't they? Well, we agreed that the deal will be called differently for everyone, so that everyone had their name first. Had to do that too, otherwise they would think I'm a pushover, thus this stupid ego fight was over and our economies remained relatively undamaged. That's a great idea! Wow, I need to try this out immediately! I thought you'd be better than this, says Canada to the EU. I love that this is actually a real thing, this isn't just made up. Pretty much it's just NAFTA 2.0. Sometimes you just gotta rename things, and rename things multiple things so everyone's happy. Well, whatever works, I guess. And big thanks to my patrons this month. Drew, I'm your dad, back with the milk. Look outside! KirinoIsBestGirl. The clone's training is complete and is
Fredrik
approaching.
Tibblin,
without
Australia is
real.
InquisitorXarius,
The GreatRalphy,
Traven's annoying friend,
Sebby, if you hear this, I love you.
GoodOldRyah,
The Mexican 76510,
Robert,
RyeThePie,
Carmel
LuxembourgLover.
And why am I doing this?